Good afternoon. Good afternoon. This is Charles Coachman, and this is Bay Area Let's Talk. Bay Area Let's Talk. Hope everyone's having a great day today. It's 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock in San Jose. Thursday, February 4th. Thursday, February 4th. 4 days into the month of February. Loving it. Loving it. Hope everyone, again, is having a great day. One of the things that we normally start out with is giving shout outs. So shout outs to Kelly Spencer, who is a realtor in the Denver, Colorado area. Kelly is part of the Ben Kinney team. Ben Kinney, one of the top realtors in all of Keller Williams, and just a thought leader with everything in real estate. And Kelly Spencer is one of his top agents in the Denver area. So Kelly, happy birthday to you. The second person is Amy Hall, and I'm going to say Mosh, but Amy Hall, she was a classmate in Antioch High School. So Amy, happy birthday to you. And she is a realtor with Keller Williams in the Tri-Valley, Alameda County, Contra Costa County, but Tri-Valley area. And she is with the Tri-Valley KW, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it's in Livermore. But Amy Hall, wishing you a very, very happy birthday. If it's your birthday out there and I didn't call it out, well, obviously we're not friends on Facebook, or you just don't like to share your birthday. And that's a shame, because we like to give them a shout out. So if it's your birthday out there, happy birthday to you. And Kelly and Amy, have a wonderful, wonderful day, because this is your day. Enjoy. All right. Let's see. I wanted to take a look at a couple things and just let you know about what we're doing and the companies that we're using. Number one, let's get this down here real quick. The Grow Live Academy. That's a Ken Walls company. And Grow Live Academy is a company that will teach you how to live stream. And then on Thursday nights, which is tonight, they're going to have they always have either a special guest or there is some training. And tonight it's going to be a phenomenal guest. I'm not even going to tease who it is, but it's a phenomenal speaker and a person that has taken the reins for a lot of today's best known speakers and helped a lot of men and women along the way. So this is going to be phenomenal tonight, and I look forward to it. Second one is StreamYard.com. If you would like to make a comment and you would like to have your name out there and your likeness, your picture, go to StreamYard.com/Facebook and allow them to use your name and your likeness. And then the last one, I keep in touch with my clients now using Hippo Video. And Hippo Video is just an awesome site. You got to do it. Enjoy it. Take advantage of it. It's there. But anyway, Grow Live Academy, StreamYard.com, and Hippo Video. Take advantage of those. It is always good to take advantage of those. And again, I am Charles Coachman. You can reach me by calling 408-439-0766 or emailing me at bayarealetstalk@gmail.com, bayarealetstalk@gmail, and you can call or text. And then you can also go to my Facebook page. We have a Bay Area Let's Talk Facebook page. We got the Charles Coachman Facebook page, and you can look up Charles Coachman on YouTube, where I have 3 shows. I've got Bay Area Let's Talk at 3 o'clock. We've got real estate talk each day, Coachman on Real Estate at 9 a.m. And then we also have a Bible study or just reading from the Bible. And that is at 6 a.m. on the West Coast, 6 a.m. on the West Coast. So if you're an early riser, get up and join us. And if you're on the East Coast, heck, you've already downed your first cup of coffee, you've had your breakfast, and you are ready to roll for the day. So join us. Take a few minutes to kick back and relax. Let's get ourselves centered for the day and know what you want to do. But this afternoon, it's Bay Area Let's Talk, and we've got a few things to cover. And then, of course, I like to finish it up with music. And today I've got a great story. So somebody that I was watching and have enjoyed for years and years. And incredible. Just incredible, this person I'm going to be talking about. And then there were actually a couple of people on there that were just phenomenal. Just phenomenal. So I'm going to really enjoy this topic today. I enjoy the music every day. Here's my deal. I am passionate about my music. And I woke up thinking about this today. As passionate as you are about your music, you got to be that much more passionate about your Bible and what you're studying, what you want to pay attention to in your life. So I am passionate about my music, and you can bet that I will pour as much passion into the Bible and that study each and every day, so that we can have a good conversation about that. See what we got. Scott Ricard, thank you for being here, Scott. I really appreciate it. Hope you have had a great day back there. Hope everything is going well in Florida. I know you got the best governor, well, one of the top governors in the nation back there. I hope he is doing right by everyone back there, at least as much as he can, because everything that I'm hearing is positive. So almost jealous of Florida. And here we are living in the golden state here, and it's not so golden. Not so golden here right now. And he is a good governor. Well, there is a lot of talk that he is the guy that they're going to be looking to run for president in 4 years. But let's see. I would prefer him to have a couple of terms as governor there and see how he does over the long term. And I don't know. That's a long way off. 4 years is a long way off. It's an eternity in today's time with everything that comes up on the internet. It is forever. Forever. So we had a couple of things to talk to, and I want to touch base on them. In San Jose, actually in Santa Clara yesterday, we had a man that was live streaming in one of the biggest malls in the South Bay, Valley Fair Mall, and he was live streaming with a gun in hand saying that he was going to shoot up the place. The biggest mall in the Silicon Valley, and this guy's walking through there live streaming. I can't remember which side it was on, but Santa Cruz sheriffs called the local police and let them know, you've got a guy live streaming at Valley Fair. Somebody better get out there. And immediately there were police there. They were able to take him in, I guess, apparently talk him down, because I've looked at the live feeds that they've had and really haven't been able to tell exactly what was going on. But I know that they brought a bomb squad out and they were searching one car very intently. But from what I understand, they were able to bring him out peacefully without a shot being fired. So thank goodness we've got another wackadoodle off the stage. But there he was live streaming on Instagram or something. One of those sites, live streaming there and threatening to kill people. I'm just glad nothing happened. I'm just glad they were able to take him down peacefully. We have got enough people with enough problems right now, and we do not need that. Do not need that with everything else that's going on. And these shopping centers, they're just getting back opened again. They have had a decrease in people coming through there. I mean, ever since COVID started, who wants to go jam into one of those big malls? Now, if I'm not mistaken, Valley Fair may be a tri-level mall, but maybe it's only 2 levels, but it is huge. It's very, very big. And then they had just finished a new parking lot for it, just a huge, huge parking lot that I can see from my dentist office. And as soon as it was finished, COVID hit. So here they built this big old parking lot, and it was empty, and it had been empty for months and months and months. Finally starting to get some people in there, and then we have somebody that does something like this. You don't know what's affecting people. So I'm glad it got through without any lives being lost, without anyone being shot, without a shot being fired, from what I understand. Now, I could be wrong, but that's what I understand. So we were talking about San Francisco and COVID all throughout the nation. Let's start with the CDC. The CDC says it is okay for teachers to return to school without a vaccination. They do not need a vaccination prior to returning to school. Teachers across the nation in various areas are saying, no way, not only do we need the vaccinations, school kids need the vaccinations. There is not one bit of evidence that school kids need vaccinations, number one. Young kids do not need it. As a matter of fact, anyone 18 or under, the loss of life there has been minimal. And we have to understand that although one life lost is more than any person wants to see, but those kids they do not need the vaccination. If they want to get a vaccination later on, but we need to get our elderly population taken care of. If teachers want to get in that line, let the elderly be taken first. Let our doctors all be taken first. Let those that need the shots to get it first. Now, if you're in an age category that says, yes, you should be getting a vaccination, then by all means get it. But open up those schools. Open up the schools. Even Mayor Breed in San Francisco is yelling at the school board, get those schools open. Well, we've got plans, and we don't want to do it until all the vaccinations are done, until all these repairs are done for our building. Get the schools open. They were safe enough to run before. They'll be safe enough to run now, and you can make improvements as you go along. Get those things open. You say that you want to take care of the young kids, but young kids are having more problems than they ever should have. Reading stories about all the suicides from young kids, from high school kids on down, because they just can't deal with life right now. Little minds, young minds, just can't deal with some of this stuff. And let's face it, even old minds can't deal with it. And this is an old mind up here. Can't deal with it at times. But children need to be socialized. They need to be able to see other young kids. They need to be able to learn in person. If we just teach our kids from computers, they are not going to be students. They're just going to be little screen watching. I don't know what the term is, but they're not going to be fully developed as human beings. We are meant to be social people and social human beings. So let's get out there and do this. Let's do what's right for our kids. Heck, even the mayor of Chicago is out there screaming and crying. I must say, though, what's really funny is that 6 months ago when CDC said it was okay for kids to return to school, that none of these people ever wanted to turn their kids. None of them ever wanted to open their schools until after the election. And only one school district and one head of one of the largest school districts in the nation in LA came out and said as much. We don't want to go back to school until after the election. I wonder why. And why is it within 7 days after the election, they're all saying, we're going back to school? Or why is it 7 days after the inauguration, they were all ready to go back to school? Even though in some areas, their COVID levels were as high as they had been at their highest. Kind of strange, but whatever it is, get those kids back in school. Get those kids back to school. Let them get learning. Our schools did not close. Thank you, Governor Ron. Wow. Here we have been closed since March 17th. March 17th of last year. We're only a month and a half short of that. And these kids have spent a couple hours going to school on the computer. No socialization, hanging out with their parents all day long. Heck, that would have been enough to make you crazy. But school unions are pretty powerful. The NEA, I think it's called, has stood up and said, no way, we are not returning to school. Not returning to school until our demands are met. Who runs this country? Who runs this country? Who runs these states? If we can't get our teachers back in class, then you know what? There's a bunch of other people that can go in there and do that, and they would be glad to make that money. Glad to make the money that the teachers do. And probably do a much better job. So, teachers, get off your keisters and get to class. So, San Francisco Moscone Center is going to become one of the first mass vaccination sites in San Francisco. They want to get up to about 10,000 people a day. 10,000 people a day because they want to have everyone in San Francisco vaccinated by the end of June. By the end of June, and they need to get up to about 10,000 shots a day. Get it done. Get it done. Of course, they need the vaccines to do that. So let's get as much in as we can. Let's get San Francisco. That is, although it's not our most populous state, it is our populous city in the state. It is probably the most compact area. Let's get those people done. Let's get everyone done as soon as we can. But let's open up those schools. Let's open up the schools. Mayor Breed is finally right on something. On something, she is completely right. Open up the schools. Across the nation, unemployment claims were down this week. Across the nation, unemployment claims were down. One of the states that it wasn't, though, is California. We were up by 46,000 this week. 46,000 claims were put in last week. 46,000 additional. So that means we are continuing to lose jobs in California. We're losing jobs in California because of the restrictions that we've had on people, and businesses are closing. They have no other choice. Businesses are closing if they can't open up. So we've got to take a look and try and get those places open. What are we going to do? Well, Gavin Newsom is feeling the effects of it because they're just about ready to file all the names needed to go ahead and get him recalled. And then we'll be taking a vote on it. And I think right now his polls are bad. He had been like a plus 20 in positive, so almost at a 70% positive. Now he is down at about 45% positive. So that means he is in the negative. He's in the negative in a heavily blue state. So, Gavin Newsom, you have been given everything in your life. Given everything in your life. Not many of us get to turn to the Getty family and get things handed to you. Not many of us get to turn to the Pelosi family and get things handed to you. But you have been. You have been. You were handpicked by a lot of people. So you'd better get your act together. And I'd say get your act together quick, because there are folks that want to have you out of office. So get the state open and get things going again. Hey, I want to turn it over to sports real quick. We have got the Golden State Warriors going to be playing, I guess, on the road against the Dallas Mavericks. Warriors are 11-10. Mavericks are 9-13. 9-13. So go get them, guys. Go get them, guys. I'm not a basketball fan. My wife's a basketball fan, and she drags me through it. But I did hop on the bandwagon for a couple of years. I'll admit that. And I enjoyed it. Then it got a little bit of crazy, and it got a little bit nasty, and I just said, enough of that. Here's my sport. My sport right now. Sharks. Sharks. And hockey. I love hockey. I don't like to watch it unless I'm there. And we've been fortunate enough to go to quite a few games over the 3 decades that the Sharks have been here. We've had some pretty fun times at the Shark Tank. But the Sharks are 8-3-5. They are going to be playing Friday and Saturday against the Anaheim Ducks, who are 11-4. 11-4. The Sharks and the Ducks, or the Sharks and the Kings, those series are always great. And a California kid that likes, I was just thinking about this, the California kid that likes the Sharks or any hockey team or an Arizona team, it's like the old, what is it? The salsa commercial that says, salsa in New York City? That's what I feel about hockey in a place like the Bay Area. Hockey in San Jose? Well, we went to see the Sharks play in the Stanley Cup, and against the Penguins. I think it was almost 100 degrees outside, but it was a cool 63 degrees inside. So that's always good. But we love our Sharks. I've got a little bit of Sharks memorabilia around here. Had a couple of favorite players. Our kids have had favorite players. I was in having some blood drawn, and one of the Sharks sat down next to me at the hospital and was having his blood drawn. And I was glad to see him and told him how much we enjoyed his team. And then I found out that we had the same doctor. As I was walking out of there, he was down there talking with my doctor as we walked out. And then, unfortunately, a couple of days later, he got all his teeth knocked out, took a puck to the face. But I must say his teeth look a lot better now than they did before. So let's turn it on. Here we go. This is my passion area. It is rock and roll time. This day in rock and roll. This day in 1940, Willie Dixon. Willie Dixon made his first recordings in 1940 on this day for a company called Bluebird Records. Bluebird Records. And Willie Dixon, a lot of people owe you a lot. A lot of our rock and roll heroes owe you a lot. Oh, going to a hockey game is great fun. I got to tell you, Scott, when I went to the first hockey game that I ever went to, the company that I was working for, the liquor company that I was working for, was interested in getting a suite in San Jose. So we got invited out to the Cow Palace. I've never been to a hockey game before. I've been to the Cow Palace many times for concerts and stuff, but that's where the Sharks started playing when they first moved out here, was the Cow Palace. And they had a big area for us to have a really nice meal at. Then they set us down center ice, and I had never seen anything like these guys. I had never seen anything like these guys out there on the ice, skating just as fast backwards as they were forwards. Hopping into the benches. I'm thinking I would kill myself going over one of those things. But those guys are incredible athletes, just phenomenal. And some of them are pretty darn big. And we've had the pleasure of seeing quite a few of the guys, enjoying a lot of times with them. And hockey is just fun. It's a lot of fun, and hockey players are probably the nicest athletes out there. They are just pretty much everyone that we've ever run into is just really, really humble and just nice as can be. Born on this day, John Steele. John Steele, he played drums for the Animals. The Animals, you probably remember them. House of the Rising Sun. House of the Rising Sun. Born on this day in 1944, Florence LaRue. Florence LaRue was the other lady that was part of the Fifth Dimension. Marilyn McCoo was just a knockout to me. And then the other lady was Florence LaRue, and just a wonderful singer and a beautiful lady too. Born on this day in 1947, Margie and Marianne Ganser, vocalists for the Shangri-Las. The Shangri-Las had a huge, huge hit when we were children. It was Leader of the Pack. Leader of the Pack. 1948 on this day, born in 1948 on this day, Vincent Furnier. Vincent Furnier, better known as Alice Cooper. Better known as Alice Cooper. Alice Cooper, School's Out for Summer. His #1 best-selling album was The $1 Billion Babies. Alice Cooper, my pastor that I have spent the majority of 25 years with, was in Germany and taking the place of another pastor there. And Alice Cooper came into his service, and they met right after the service. My pastor is a huge rock music fan, and he plays guitar and organ and all those kind of things. And he is an excellent, excellent musician himself. But he goes, just meeting Alice Cooper, that was very nice. Very nice. So Alice Cooper, who I didn't know, his father was a pastor. So he has a deep background, a deep Christian background. So Alice Cooper, happy birthday. Or should I say Vincent Furnier. James Brown in 1955 released the record Please, Please, Please. Everybody loved it. Johnny Burnett on this date in 1961, known for his big single You're 16. Known for You're 16, which Ringo Starr went on to make it a hit in the mid-70s. On this date in 1962, Clint Black, country music's Clint Black was born. 1967 on this date, the Monkees album was debuted. The Monkees' self-titled debut album started a 7-week run at number 1. 7 weeks at number 1 for the fake group, the Monkees. Although they all learned how to play, and little Davy Jones learned how to beat his tambourine. So, hey, guys. Now, one of the fellows was actually, 2 of them could play music, and I'm trying to think of what Michael's name is. One of them wrote a song which Linda Ronstadt turned into a number 1 hit. So, hey, congratulations, Monkees. This date in 1968, John Lydon's song Across the Universe was recorded on this date in 1968. People were outside Abbey Road's recording studio. They wanted some extra voices. Paul McCartney went out and brought them in. The only time that they did such a thing where they invited their fans in. Across the Universe. In a bizarre incident in 1970, John Lennon and Yoko Ono were getting their hair cut. A guy traded them their hair clippings for a pair of autographed trunks from Muhammad Ali. So for their hair, they got some signed white trunks from Muhammad Ali. In 1972, on this date, Attorney General John Mitchell and Strom Thurmond, Senator Strom Thurmond, suggested that John Lennon be deported. Be deported. I think that was because he was an anti-war guy and he had broken some pot laws. So that's a tough one. That's a tough one. And it really made Lennon's life pretty tough to live for quite a while, because we had some people that absolutely loved everything he did. And then there were some that said, hey, out of here, man. You don't belong here. Well, I would say in 1980, he may have made that decision to say, yeah, maybe I don't belong here. And somebody unfortunately took him down, shot him down. 1977, on this date, Fleetwood Mac's Rumors is released. The album went straight to the top, and if I'm not mistaken, it was there for 31 weeks. 31 weeks. 1977, on this date, American Bandstand celebrated their 25th anniversary. Dick Clark, America's oldest teenager. We'll never forget Dick Clark. And here's one, just one of the saddest things that I recalled. My wife and I had been married for a short while. And Karen Carpenter died on this date. Karen Carpenter, who had the voice of an angel, died of anorexia nervosa at her parents' Downey, California home. She was just 32. Incredible. Incredible. Just a beautiful young lady with just the voice of an angel. She had one of the prettiest voices ever. Still listen to the Carpenters. I enjoy their music. I wish she would have lived longer. So rest in peace, Karen Carpenter. Just I hate that. I hate that. I hate even thinking about it. 1984, the Eurythmics scored their first number 1 hit. Here Comes That Rain Again. And they had a couple other hits on their number 1 album called Who's That Girl? 1987, everyone's favorite pianist, Liberace, died of AIDS at 67. Died of AIDS at 67. Rest in peace. In 1996, former Milli Vanilli member Rob Pilatus was hospitalized after somebody beat him with a bat. Beat him with a bat in Hollywood, California. The reason that a guy came after him with the bat was Pilatus was trying to steal his car. And this guy said, no way. He recovered from that, but he died on April 3rd, 1998. If I'm not mistaken, it was a suicide. So rest in peace. Rest in peace. You fake singing guys. Okay. There was something, this just blows my mind. This was in 2000. The band ABBA. Do you remember ABBA? ABBA was offered $1 billion to do an additional tour, to get back together, cut an album, and do a tour. $1 billion. $1 billion with a B in 2000 to do that. And they turned it down. They turned it down. They must have really not liked each other to turn that down. One of my favorite voices out there right now, and was actually my son's favorite voice because he's the one that turned me on to her, Norah Jones. She had another album that came out. It was #1 called Not Too Late, and she is just a fabulous singer. Now, here is my favorite story of the day, and this is it. We're going to wrap it up. 2013, Wild Thing singer Reg Presley dies of cancer on this day. Wild Thing singer Reg Presley dies of cancer on this day. Died Monday after a long bout with lung cancer at 71. 71. Reg Presley, a story that I heard that I was watching a video on. I kind of like to go through and get some background on the guys. And he wrote a song called Love Is All Around. If you got a chance, check it out. Love Is All Around. And he had been touring. He had been touring and came home. And he said just the smell of everything that was being cooked in the house and seeing people that he hadn't seen. And it just came to him. Love is all around me. Love is all around me. Just the smells. I think he said his mother was making him a pot roast or something. He goes, but just the smells. And he came up with this song, again, called Love Is All Around. That song has made him a ton of money because not only did the Troggs record it, if I'm not mistaken, REM recorded it, and a group called Wet 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 recorded it. And it was #1. I think it was #1 for 15 weeks in the UK. And they pulled it off because they wanted other songs to have a chance to be recorded or other songs to have a chance to become #1 because it was bigger selling than anything the Beatles put out. Love Is All Around. And it was done by Wet Wet Wet, which was featured in a movie, I think, in 1992. But the Troggs, Wild Thing, With a Girl Like You. Reg Presley, just a down-to-earth fella. Oh, there's another story. He is working as a painter, working as a house painter and a building painter. And he's working alongside a fellow on the side of a building. And he's out there possibly putting on stucco. And he starts scraping something down and putting his stucco up. And all of a sudden, Wild Thing comes on. And he's over there working. Wild Thing comes on. And this guy, his boss, says, that is going to be a a #1 hit. That's going to be one of the biggest hits around. And if it's not, I'm going to eat my hat. And the guy says, have you ever heard that before? And he kind of smiles. He goes, it's going to be the biggest hit ever. I'm telling you. And he goes, do you really think so? Reg says, do you really think so? The guy says, yes. Yes. Takes one more spatter, puts down his tool and says, I'm taking the rest of the day off and I may not be back. And he left, never returned to work, because he was the lead singer of Wild Thing and the Troggs. So Reg Presley, rest in peace. Thank you for the wonderful music that you gave us. And the Troggs, thank you. And for the wonderful songs that you put out there. This is Charles Coachman. This is Bay Area Let's Talk. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for giving us a watch. If you liked it, please share it out. If you didn't like it, just let me know. Let me know what we need to do and we'll fix it. But have a great day. Have a great evening. Look forward to seeing you again tomorrow at 3 p.m. 3 p.m. Bay Area Let's Talk. Have a great day. Bye.